agosexual. This video was supposed to come out in June. It is now July. That joke no longer has fuck it. You know what? Fuck societal norms. It's Pride Year, nigga. How's it going, Tube Tech students? It's your boy Diddles. I did not like the TADC series finale. I did not. It did not live up to the expectations that I myself put on it, and I will explain why before we even jump into it, because I know the massively media illiterate people online are just clicking on videos trying to add fuel to their own fire about why it was bad. So here's your fuel. Get it, give me my viewer retention, and get off my video. TADC was a massive unfocused mess, and I hate the fact that I'm having deja vu saying this, because I feel like this was something that I have said before, and I really did not want to about something I genuinely enjoyed my journey through. It was probably Dragon Ball Super, but I take every possibility I can to complain about the Goku Black arc and its stupid fuck-ass ending when the original timeline that Trunks came from, where Cell killed him and stole that timeline, was right fucking there from the very beginning of Dragon. We're not talking about this right now. We're talking about the Amazing Digital Circus. The Amazing Digital Circus, from day one, from the first minute of the pilot being up, from my first reaction, I had a very strong feeling that the Amazing Digital Circus, or TADC for short, because I don't want to keep saying the Amazing Digital Footprint, because I'm about to start saying the amazing lack of media literacy, because from day one, it was very clear that this was a character-driven drama. If you did not get that, that's a you problem. You have not read enough. They did an amazing job establishing themselves as that. That cannot be argued. From the very beginning of this fandom's existence, everybody was meat writing this show for its amazing pilot work. We just have to flat out agree on that. They knew what they were doing. And with each passing episode, despite me not vocalizing it because I don't like giving my final thoughts until a product is finished, I started asking myself, why are we getting so much information on the circus? At a certain point, I found myself getting sucked in. I was like, okay, yeah, we're not just gonna get the character drama, we're gonna get the world building. That's cool. I will take my cake and eat it too. I was excited to get both. And then we got to the finale, where they made, or I won't say they, I will say Goose made it clear at the end what she said at the beginning. This was a character-based drama. So when I went into the finale, now expecting them to deliver on the promise of character growth and the unraveling mystery of this world, and I was only given half, it is only natural for me to feel let down. That is why I say the Amazing Digital Circus was unfocused. There were multiple characters. They set up that, oh, we're gonna have like one episode per character to really flesh these guys out, really get to the bottom of it, and you're gonna know who these characters are by the end of it. They stated that, and I don't think they did a good job of like really exploring that. As you saw from my last ATAP mini, I gave Zooble at least just a little bit more love, because I feel like her being mad that Jack's abstracting came out of nowhere. Oh, I guess I should say spoilers for episode 9. If this is your first time watching episode 9 and you're watching the big black man who wants to the fucking sexy purple rabbit. The fuck? What's wrong with you? I don't trust you. Get away from me. I remember on TikTok, I made a comment saying that TADC had this problem where it would set up so many Chekhov's guns and then they just wouldn't fire them. And that is when someone in the comments made it clear to me, that that's not a Chekhov's gun. That is a red herring. And with a franchise like TADC, who put so much love, thought, and care into making the setting that these characters were in such an immersive experience, I don't want those to come off as red herrings. I don't want an author to spend their time, effort, and love into building something in a story that ultimately, to them, not to the audience, to the author themselves, does not matter. Why am I going to hyperfixate on why the halls of Trope High and Dere Dere are a beige color instead of the wacky pink that the principal fell in love with 15 years ago? That's not necessary. If I want to go on Tumblr after the show is over and be like, oh yeah, here's a little Oda SBS styled, oh, here's a funny little quirky, here's why this small insignificant detail is the way it is, giving it more significance and enhancing my enjoyment of the show. I think that's fine. I think that's great. That is a great way to go about it. Not finishing the you know what? I'm adding too much fuel because I am about to turn this video into an echo chamber of things that you guys have heard over and over and over again. Goose should have did this. Goose should have did that. Goose should have focused on this character. They should have focused on that character. I don't care. The most pure form of the story and moral that Goose herself wanted to put out there is what we got. Do I like the way it was presented after everything is said and done and put together? No. But I am putting the nail in the coffin with that statement because we are the DiddlyDooYT fandom. We are tube tech students. We pride ourselves on our media literacy. We see you, Goose. We see things were a bit messy. And one complaint I didn't even leverage is the fact that in your character-driven show, they're still pushing the setting as the most important part with the fucking merch ads, and that's what's pissing me off about it. Holy shit, we get it. The circus has a mystery, and you're not gonna focus on it because the show is over. If that's how you wanted to do it, character-based stuff in the show, mystery in the merch ads. That way, you drive traffic to the show for people who want the characters, and you drive traffic to the merch for people who are interested in the search. MatPat did it before. It's proven it can work. You can do it too. I'm going to calm down, and I'm going to say what I was saying beforehand, because this is already 11 minutes of me saying all the bad stuff that people want me to say about it. Now I'm gonna say what I want to say about it. We are tube tech students. We pride ourselves on our media literacy. We are going to sit down, watch episode 9, and talk about the intent of what Goose was trying to put out there. Because we're not gonna sit here and pretend that the intent behind Goose's words were trans people should kill themselves. That is the most brain-rotted Twitter take I have ever seen in my life. So we're going to sit down and talk about this. Not the problems, because we all know the problems. We've exhausted ourselves talking about the problems. Now let's talk about what we liked about it, all right? Let's talk about the amazing digital circus, episode 9. Remember. What did you think about this journey? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'm letting you guys know this ahead of time. If I see any comments in the comment section echoing any of the brain dead, unresearched, unread takes I have seen online, you're getting taken out back and beaten with a stick. Okay? All right? Let's jump into episode 9, remember. The amazing digital circus. What a fucking ride. Holy shit, dog. We just got started and I already have to talk about this. The way everyone in my theater, I won't even say everyone, I'm sorry for lying to you guys. I have a habitual lying problem. The way I heard maybe 2 or 3 people stifle their laugh with what Jax is about to do in this scene, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna miss this fandom because we all share the singular brain cell of a summer ant. I'm ready to show!
Anything else? else you want to tell us?
Jax!
But wait, hang on.
But he gets to mess up like this and everyone takes his side?
And you know what? This was such a beautiful scene because I'm glad that in the editing process for the script, that line was left in because that shows that they really wanted to explore that aspect of Jax's character of holy shit, this is a rare opportunity. Someone that everyone supposedly loves did something that I would do. They fucked up like I would. I am now going to get the validation that I need when they all turn on him and tear him to pieces like I know they would do for me. And what the fuck does everyone do? Nothing. Sure, it's a situation where he deleted Kane, there is nothing you can do, as opposed to no, because in that situation, when they were in the red and blue room, they actively thought, holy shit, we're stuck in the circus forever. The circumstances have not changed. It's just the character doing it. And this is just another look into Jax's psyche of, holy shit, if someone fucked up in the way that I would, I need that vindication of knowing that I'm a bad person because I made that choice. If someone else makes that choice and they like lash out at them that exact way, I'm right. And that's the worst thing you can do to her. This is a weird portion of the video to say this, considering the recording is 18 minutes in. If I have said he at any point, my apologies. I will be doing my best to refer to Jax as she for the rest of this. I'm just now getting started on doing that transition in my speech. I've spent the whole show referring to Jax as he, so it's going to take a minute to like switch that around, even with me doing my best to do it in like comments and everything, but it is what it is. Humans are human. We're gonna human.
Guess I'm still...
I'm sorry. Look, I know I know what I said at the beginning during the whole like we're not gonna do this, we're gonna be adults, but come on. Come on. I'm not it is physically unrealistic for me to be able to separate this from like problems I initially already have with Jax as a character. But let's talk about it then. Because the problem with Jax for me is that I have seen her character type before. I've seen it. I have seen someone who believes there is no way out for them. They have started doing terrible things. They believe there's no redemption. Nothing matters. So fucking why apologize? Why accept any of this as reality? I'm just gonna keep doing fucked up shit because none of it matters. But then, once you're surrounded by people who genuinely think, no, nigga, this shit matters, it's like, no, it doesn't. I do genuinely want to talk about this moment, though, because this implication is big. Not in the world, but to us. Because in this moment, these characters have just been told something that they feared from the very beginning. They're not real. Nothing they have been through matters in the slightest. Or at least that's what they think. They suddenly now believe, since their brain scans, everything that they've been through for however long they've been in this circus, it didn't matter. There was no end goal, completely forgetting the journey that they were just on. And for a character like Jax, knowing that none of it mattered, that all of it was for naught, her struggles, her mask, her connections with everyone else, she was right. It didn't matter. So she could do whatever she wanted to, even if what she wanted to, or what she said she wanted to do, was not who she truly was. And I think that's brilliant.
We're all in this together.
And the craziest, oh wow, I actually didn't see her crying in theaters. Wow, it's great seeing this in HD. It's crazy because this really does give more importance to episode 2, which is crazy what I'm about to say. That's the episode I think about the least whenever I think about this series. It often slips my mind the Candy Kingdom adventure, despite Gummy Goo being one of my favorite characters. This reveal makes Gummy Goo's purpose in the show one of the best Chekhov's guns you could ever write. They told us in episode 2, we are not real. The AI start going crazy when you leave them on for too long. The AI's going crazy because you left them on for too long. Now they think they're real people. Which, I mean, makes sense. They're not actually NPCs. They are brain scans of people, but we're more focused on the philosophy of the show at the moment. There's your validation. Jax just got her validation in the worst way possible. Nothing matters. None of this was real. There was no hope for me anyway.
You're very strong, Pomni. And I know you'll be able to get through this.
We've been here before.
This is a beautifully amazing scene because we truly do run ourselves ragged trying to help everyone else when we're not there ourselves. And one of the hardest lessons you can learn in life is that you can't help anyone until you get yourself right, Sugar Cube. And that sucks. Because there are going to be people in your life that you love dearly. You're going to see them hurt. You're going to see them struggle. You're going to see them wail out and ask, why me? And there is nothing that you can do about it because you're over on your side asking, why you? I'm not going to sit here and say you can't help everyone, because that statement destroys the hope that some people have that pushes them to try and save everyone, because that hope gives them the strength to do more than nothing. But you cannot start your journey of saving anyone until you adjust to your surroundings and you figure yourself out. I'm going to say this to all the Pomnies in the audience because I know you need to hear it. Jax has made her choice. And you're going to have to accept that. Once you accept that they have made that choice, you decide if you are strong enough to help them change their mind. And if you are, you do everything in your power to be there for them. If you can't be the one to do it because you're not strong enough, there are other people in the circus to help you. That is the whole point of Pomni talking to Gangle in the Spudsies episode. That is exactly what I was trying to say with Pomni. She was not ready to help Gangle. At least not where they really needed help. But what they could do, they did. This show is beautiful. I swear. I'll edit around it a little bit, but because I don't want to send a bad message. Execution versus intent, obviously. I know a lot of the cartoon allegories are probably super confusing, but let's look at it like this. Everything that happened in the circus before Pomni happened. That happened. That is pre-established. That is your past. Pomni is you once you have a fresh new perspective on life. And you're able to look at where you are and finally start working through those problems from your past, if they even are still problems. You might take a look back, just like what Kinger said, and realize that was never a problem to begin with. That was just me. This is a weird interjection in the middle of this video, but if he's gonna keep doing this, I'm going to publicly out him and shame him in the middle of this video. Every time I have paused this video to go on one of my philosophical rants about these characters and what I believed was trying to be said, I hear this voice in the little back of my head that says, oh, that was stupid. That was a really dumb idea. You're gonna have to edit that out once you get in the editing bay. Fuck you, dude! You are always doing this shit, trying to make me second guess myself. Now everyone in my comment section knows that you're a pussy who eats dick. How's it feel? Back to the video. And as you take that time to work on yourself and better yourself, those people that you wanted to help, that you wanted to be with every step of the way, there's a chance, there's a hope, there is a prayer that they will see you and remember. That's why. That is why I want to keep going. And they start working on themselves so that they can be better, so that they can get back to doing things with you, with others that made them feel complete in the first place. That is the beauty of this show. And I'm talking to the Pomleys in the audience again. I know this hurts, but please, please understand. What I was trying to say earlier is that you did your best. You did. You gave them love, attention, cared for them, did everything you could. But their problem was not with you, it was with themselves. You're gonna be okay. You got it.
Never mind.
I wish I'd pried a little more. I somehow forgot how bad it can get.
I don't have time to turn this into an animatic, so do with this whatever you want. The camera pans down and we see Jack standing in front of Zubal's room. It's right after they learn they're just brain scans, and she's just standing there looking at the door. She raises her hand to knock. She's hesitant for a bit, but she decides to go through with it anyway. She knocks on the door, and you hear Zubal sort of like stifle sobs, like they weren't crying. And as soon as they hear like Jack say, "Hey, are you in there?" they snap at her. Like, absolutely, like, get the fuck away from my door. I don't have time for your nonsense right now. Like, I don't care, blah, 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 this, and that. And Jax is, like, getting ready to just, like, abandon ship and leave because, like, oh, yeah, clearly they don't want to be around me. Obviously setting up his whole, like, what's that thing called in psychology? Self-sabotage. That's what it's called. She begins to self-sabotage. And as she's about to walk away from the door, for the first time in her wasted, useless, talentless life, the first time in her life, she pushes past all of the negative thoughts and asks Zubal a genuine question. Why do you hate Daisy Bell so much? Zubal, realizing that there's no reason to hide anything in this world that doesn't exist where nothing matters, admits that Daisy Bell was their nickname when they were outside the circus. Their parents called them that all the time. They were the most beautiful daisy, the most beautiful flower in the world's most luxurious garden. And they fucking hated it because it just did not align with their vision of themselves at all. And that causes Jax to stop and think for a second. All of the triggers are going off in her mind. Make a joke, devalue, don't open up. Don't let anything out of this experience affect you and make you a better human being. But she pushes all of those thoughts aside for a second and asks a very crucial question. Would you still hate Daisy Bell if it was the name of a friend? Now, obviously, Zubal is confused at this by first, but considering the fact that they are a queer character and all of us have a gaydar, obviously, it was included in the last patch update. If you don't have yours, that's a you problem. They sort of get where Jax is coming from. In a very heartwarming moment, Zubal tells Jax, if that was my friend's name, I would never feel bad about calling out to them. We then see this beautiful montage of still shots of the circus, showing Jax in a world where she never hid herself or forced herself to be something that she wasn't. She's interacting with everyone in the circus. Ribbon and Kaufmo are still there. Sure, some of the early pieces are still like abstracted and gone in the cellar, but Jax is happy. She's living her best life, and she's surrounded by people who love and care about her. And that's when Zubal's voice cuts through the fantasy and asks Jax the $1 million question. You're acting oddly out of character. What's up with you? And that causes Jax to think, what's up with me? What's wrong with me? Nothing.
This is the only correct narrative choice with the ending that Goose chose to land the series on. And I know I mentioned at the beginning the massively illiterate people online who say this is Goose saying that trans people should off themselves. I don't want to say I hate you because God's working on me, so I'm not going to say anything. This is the only correct option for the ending that Goose chose, because in order for Leroy to thrive and prosper in whoever she chooses to be in the real world, stay with me, there needs to be a literal ego death of Jax. Isn't writing wonderful? Now, yes, people in the comments again. Oh, well, it wasn't shown that way, so I didn't get it. Therefore, show bad. Please fix your reasoning for not liking it, because the way you're phrasing it makes me want to eat forks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Of course he'd wait until there's nothing we could do about it. That's just so... God damn it, Jax.
I'm going to admit how I know philosophy wise I sound like I sound like I know what I'm saying. I'm gonna admit how stupid I was in theater. When that abstraction happened, I was like sitting there like watching. I'm like, no, this is a fake out. That's not Jax. I bet it's Gangle. That shit would fucking hurt because it's gonna pan over and then it's gonna have Jax up top going like, oh god, I didn't think, and then that would start the like redemption arc. I'm not saying I wanted him to have a redemption arc. I'm a fan of bittersweet endings. I think Jax's journey, while not executed well, was perfect in the intention stages. Like, I think the narrative story that was told was fine. But if they did want to go the redemption arc, I definitely think Gangle, like that, the reveal of Gangle abstracting probably would have been the way to necessitate that, because like abusers never, like, they actively never think about the victim. No matter how they try to frame it, they're not thinking about them. So in that moment, that those like sayings of, oh my god, I didn't think that meant that, and this meant that, I thought things were cool, blah blah blah. No, fuck you, absolutely not. You're a dick. And he would remain irredeemable in the fandom's eyes, and yet there would still be niggas wanting to ride her penis. That's crazy.
Why can't I cry for him?
Because he abused you. No matter how you frame the friendship in your mind, he was abusive to you. And you never vocalized how that truly made you feel. At least not until you started hanging out with Zubul. It's hard for you to cry for him because in your mind, you know it's the right thing to do. But your body has already realized, fuck that nigga. And it's gonna take a while for things to line up. But once that delayed grief hits, like it hit me on Mother's Day, like I think a year after my mom passed, holy shit, man.
He told me to never mention Ribbit's name again. He made me promise.
He absolutely thought that Ragatha was going to mention Ribbit's name, and that is why she unloaded into her in the Guns episode. She did not even wait for the R sound to cross Ragatha's lips. She already determined the answer and blasted the fuck out of her. It had nothing to do with the prank being reversed and pulled on her. It had nothing to do with her being able to dish it and not take it. Some serious trauma. Well, I guess that does actually make it land in the realm of she can dish it, but she can't take it. Because she already determined in her mind that Ragatha was about to pull out some serious trauma, and she murdered Ragatha. Not eliminated from the game, murdered her. Okay.
I wonder if things would have been different if I'd said no. It was so hard for me.
I know she's doing her dump, but I need to answer her question honestly and earnestly. You made a very intelligent call. You have the survival instincts of a Marine. I'm proud of you, Ragatha.
Show us what I know, huh?
Because she was working so hard to receive that approval from what should have been a cornerstone of her life. And her mother just wasn't there. For whatever reason, nothing was ever good enough for her mom. And that plants this seed inside of you saying that, like, oh, I have to be good enough for everyone, or else I'm going to feel that same rejection that I feel from what should have been a cornerstone. You're constantly looking for a replacement to that cornerstone, and nothing is good enough because it should have been your mother. And that's heartbreaking. It truly is.
I'm glad we're still friends.
So, fun fact that not a lot of people know, I actually got to see an advanced screening of this. I know I posted those videos saying that, like, saying that I saw it on premiere day, but I actually got to see it the day before. Goose actually saw my reactions, and she was so blown away by my philosophical perspective on the show that they invited me to a day early premiere of this show, and I actually got to see a very like primitive version of it, and I was very surprised when I went to see it in theaters the next day. I still had to pay for my second ticket. Goose said, "I don't know you like that, nigga." No, sorry, she said, "I don't know you like that, nigga." So anyways, I ended up going to see it the next day, and I was very confused because there was a scene at the first showing that wasn't in this one, and it was like at this point, like when she started crying, those cheeks weren't the only ones that got wet, because she just started like gushing, squirting, like she was wetter than a slip and slide in like on a hot day in summer. Like it, like I'm talking, the floor was just drowning in it. Pomni was like, "Please stop," and she was like, "I can't stop it. I just have such a repressed lesbian aura, and it's just the fact that your hands were so close to the bottom of my spine, it just did something to me, and now I just can't stop." But halfway through her explanation, she realized Pomni had already drowned in her liquids, so she was like, "Damn, all right, I guess I'll just stand here for the camera rotation." The camera rotated around her, and then she like walked off screen. Honestly, I thought that one was more powerful than this version we got, but I'll take it.
They need someone like you right now.
Where the fuck is Kinger?
Where's Bubble?
Okay, I know the correct answer to this is probably he's fixing the circus, and I shouldn't think too much about it. But like, no, Kinger's been there from the beginning. He's seen niggas abstract. He saw his wife abstract. He saw Kaufmo abstract. Like he's seen everyone come and go. I'm sure at this point, yeah, sure, maybe I don't think he was attached to Jax outside of that one clip in like episode 2 where Jax asked Kinger if like the anchor was attached to anything. I don't know if the two of them actually interacted all that much. That's crazy.
I trust you.
I don't know you. I can't trust you. Is this them saying they're absolutely gonna fuck after all of this is said and done? I had to come back to this because I did actually want to talk about Pomni and Ragatha's relationship before we get into the Jax lore dump that we are about to be. And here I thought the Jax show got canceled by Twitter. Anyways,
I really do like this relationship. It mirrors another one I really like, and I hope they don't ruin, but after watching their most recent special with a really good friend, I'm realizing they might fucking ruin it. It really reminds me of the relationship of Marinette Dupenchang and Zoe from Miraculous Ladybug, where, if you don't know, spoilers, Zoe is confirmed to be either lesbian or bisexual, one of the two. I'm not entirely sure. They are as open about it as they can be on Disney Channel without their series getting canceled. I mean, it already airs at like 3 a.m. new episodes. I know, right? What 2-year-old is up to see gays at 3 a.m.? Really like the idea of having a friend who you might be romantically interested in, but they're not. But that doesn't affect the relationship. I've always loved shows that explore that type of relationship. It interested me so much that in one of my shows, I made that a key feature. Now, of course, that did change, and that character, you have one more fucking time to text me. Oh no! I'm personally not a big fan of the Ragatha and Pomni ship. I more see them as friends. But even yet and still, I see the relationship as one where Ragatha is able to just be herself around Pomni without having to try to be whatever facade she thinks Pomni wants to be. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, well, her sexuality isn't important to that. As someone who isn't straight, yes, the fuck it is. Anyways. But that is a very important distinction to make. We are explaining it to you. You're constantly asking, I don't understand how this could be this way and that could be that way. We are explaining it to you in one of the most easy to digest forms of media possible. And yet you just don't want it there. But then you want us to explain it. So we put it there so it can be explained. And then you say you don't want it because it's different. But then you say it's different, so you need to explain it. So then we present it to you in a way that is digestible. And then you say you don't want it because it's different. And then you say it's different, so will you please explain it? So we present it to you into a way that's... That had nothing to do with this scene at all. I just ended up talking about my grievances with the real world. God, I wish I could be in the circus. And then, like with one of their recent posts, we get to see them going out to get drinks every day. I genuinely love that Ragatha has finally found that person she can just be herself around. That was the whole point of her character arc, and I really wish that she had been given more downtime so we could explore that. But holy shit, that gnat is high quality. Where the hell is it? What the fuck?
All right, let's go ahead and open this window. Holy shit. All right, let's go ahead and close that window. What the fuck?
They're gonna think I'm dirty. I'm not. It's just hot. Missed every shot, by the way. That's crazy. I am going to say this now before we get into the nitty gritty of it. But when I was in theaters, I was going off the assumption that they absolutely were not going to save him. And this entire next section of the episode, I was interpreting as finding the note. This portion of the episode for me is finding the note. Because you understand. But it's too late to understand now.
Jax,
Pomni?
I just want you to know that
If
you
you
need
ever
anything,
need to
or
talk
if
to
you
somebody,
need to talk to anybody,
or need help with
I'm
anything,
here for you.
I'm here.
You need me. I can fix you.
I had the same reaction as Jax in this scene for multiple reasons. What was the reaction? For multiple reasons. One, let's get the personal one out of the way because there's like no validation to it because it's a personal criticism. I'm not a fan of the Funny Bunny ship. So like the whole I can fix you is really just like, I don't want to say a throwaway line.
because then I have to turn around and say the same thing about a lot of the lines in Sonic 3. So you know what? I'm gonna not be a hypocrite and say it. It's like the throwaway line in Sonic 3 of talk about a low budget flight, no food or movies, we're out of here. There was no purpose to put that there. Like, I get it, he jumps out at helicopter and that's what he says, but it does not fit the mood and it just feels shoehorned in for the sake of a reference. I feel the same way about the I can fix you, but I will say, just because I don't like the reference doesn't mean it's not a good one. It isn't. Because I don't agree with I can fix you from the ground up. I don't think you can fix anyone. You can fix yourself and that can inspire people to fix themselves, but you can't fix other people, baby. You can only help them on their journey towards fixing themselves. I should probably say that was the second reason why, because I can't fix you. Oh yeah, we are going to press play, but like, this is my first time seeing this in high def. I really thought he was just like, he just had like a straight face, but now that I can see it in like high quality, like I can see that she's actually smiling, like as she tortures Pomni, and like it's actually kind of Sugoi Desune. So I'm gonna look at it for a little bit. You guys can keep watching the reaction.
What? We can't die from oxygen deprivation, remember?
It's the thing. It's the thing that she does in the one art of them that I really like that was never accurately replicated in the show, that I need a 3D artist to use camera breaking rules in order to accurately replicate what she does in her key art. I really like that. Anyways, also, I love the fact that once Ragatha is gone, any sense of empathy with this man, empathy, sympathy, all of that, gone. Because literally, there was nobody else willing to give this nigga a chance at all. Zubul didn't care. Gangle was moving on to Zubul, so that would eventually leave them nowhere. Kinger was fucking... Pomni would probably abstract. I'm not even gonna lie. No, you know what? Not even that. After the way that Jax pushed Pomni away, he probably assumes that she's no longer in the picture anyway.
What the fuck?
Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Holy Okay, that's enough. We could go back to the episode. Pomni! Pomni! Wibby! Kapma! Dektoy! Dektoy! I fumbled! Wait a minute. I am having a revelation mid-reaction. Pomni did not go in the door because, as we see from this scene, there is a Pomni already inside. Okay, that was throwing me for a loop in the theater. I know I said media literacy is my favorite thing in the world, but sometimes I can be a little stupid, as you clearly just fucking saw. So not going back. So that is like just actively what he would do to Pomni. What the fuck is wrong with this? I need someone in the comments to do like an active counter of every single time I misgendered Jax. Not to, like, just for fun, because I'm just rambling and talking. I actively want to know how many times I did it, but I'm not curious enough to do it myself in the editing bay, because that's time I could put towards Dere Dere. So one of my smart, lovely fans, let me know in the comments. Yeah, he's actively just treating everyone like toys now that all sense of empathy has left his system. That is also a great insight as to how he... That's another one for the counter. That is a great insight into how she views, or how she thinks Pomni views him. That's interesting, because now we are looking at Jax saying, Pomni pities me. Pomni is only being my friend and helping me out of pity. She thinks that I'm a social case and I can be fixed. See, now I can fix you. Do you see how having media literacy can change your opinion on scenes in real time? That's beautiful. I'm gonna let the scene play out before I say this, because this is a very controversial take on this scene.
Wearing what? Oh, this! I figured what better way to honor Zubal's spirit than by wearing something all gender freaky, right?
And I need you to hear me out on this. She is not lying at all. In the most fucked up, unsympathetic way possible, she means this with every fiber of her being. Much like I was saying that extra scene earlier with Zubal would add to their solidarity, suddenly him doing this not only to keep messing with Gangle, since now Zubal's gone, it's back to the status quo. Now, this is also one of the only ways that he can secretly, or sorry, she can secretly honor one of the only allies they could have potentially had in the circus. You guys are so lucky I'm able to dig through the execution and get this for you, because I want to actually have intelligent conversations about this show and not just say, Jax is a bad person, therefore, Jax bad, therefore show bad. If I heard any of you niggas say that about Yoshikage Kira from part 5 of JoJo's, I might actually have to shoot you, because he genuinely is one of the worst people to ever exist. But he's also written well, so I think that's also why I would shoot you, because you would then be comparing Yoshikage Kira to Jax from the amazing Digital Footprint, which I am doing right now. So, hooray.
Meet me in my room after the funeral. Don't be late.
And remember, these reactions are what Jax personifies these other people to think of him. Deep down, truly and believably, he believes that Gangle, someone he actively says is his friend, is her friend, hates her. Someone that she has convinced herself is her friend wants to be around her, wants to team up for adventures. He has convinced himself in her own mind, holy fuck, this is hard. I need somebody to like go through, I need someone to take this series, go through every episode, and just when they say Jax, replace like, whenever they're talking about Jax, replace he with she, and then I'll watch that like on repeat until it rewires my brain. It took me like a fucking year until I was able to get Jasper's pronouns right, and I still fuck up on that sometimes, but hey, humans be humaning sometimes. Because inside Jack's mind, she has already convinced herself that her friend hates her. That's something interesting. Hold on to that. That's the door for if Kinger abstracts. If Kinger abstracts, Jax is going to go into a lucid, honey pack fueled rage around the circus, just destroying everything, knocking over all the blocks, spilling everyone's drinks. It's not a fun time. Kane realizes the only way to save everyone from Jax's turmoil is to put her in the cellar with the rest of the abstractions, but as soon as the floor hole is covered, Jax just starts Jaxing it. Like, Jax is Jaxing it so hard down in the basement with the other abstractions. And Ribbit's abstraction is like, wait a minute. I've only ever seen one person Jax it like that before. Yo, are you Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus? And Jax turns around in the middle of Jaxing it, and she's like, holy shit. Are you Ribbit from the Amazing Digital Circus, episode 9? You were like my best friend. Hang on, I'm almost done Jaxing it. And Ribbit is like, no worries. No worries. Take your time Jaxing it. We've all Jaxed before. So definitely take your time. Do what you need to do. Me and Kaufmo will be here when you're ready. And Jax is like, holy shit, Kaufmo is here too? And he turns around and Kaufmo's there. And she's like, holy shit, Kaufmo. And Kaufmo's like, yeah, we've heard all about what happened up there. Congrats on coming out the closet, girl. We're here for you. Slay queen. And Jax is like, hey, Aaron Hansen, never say that again. But you know what? It's A-okay. Man, I never want anyone to know that this is what happens when Kinger abstracts. All right, I'm finished Jaxing it. And then she finished Jaxing it. And then everyone comes out of the cellar and they're no longer abstracted. And then Kinger unabstracts. And then him and Queenie start kissing. And then Gangle and Zubul start kissing. And then Pomni and Ragatha start talking about the economy. And then Pomni, and then Pomni, Greg's Nedge, who has just suddenly decided to change their name to Lily, Ribbit and Kaufmo all just start having a big old poly pile, just start kissing and hugging and rubbing, and the scene is so beautiful that Kane's brother ENIAC realizes, oh, I should stop making my brother evil, and he comes out of Kane's head, and then he's like, Kane, I do not like the smell of your cologne, but I am going to leave now. But here's all my magic powers to fix the circus. And then Pomni closes the door. Honestly, I don't know why Goose didn't show this version in theaters. It was beautiful and explained everything that we needed to know. But I guess for the main theatrical release, they just decided to block up the door, which I can understand. It's cool they did all that in a day. Okay, so I was definitely wrong. Ragatha was his empathy. Gangle was his sympathy, because he completely rejected how Pomni felt in that situation. And by process of elimination, rejected everyone else in the circus, and she started to just become a homicidal maniac. I know this, I'm probably going to regret saying it like this when I'm in the editing bay and I come up with a better way of saying this. Ragatha dies, he becomes a nihilist. Gangle dies, she becomes an absurdist. If anyone in the comments has like any inkling or some sort of guess as to like what I am trying to say, please explain in the comments, and I will absolutely have a back and forth with you about like trying to get to what I am trying. But I guess they're both so, well, nihilism and absurdism are very similar. They're both the idea of nothing matters. Except nihilism is nothing matters, so why do anything? Absurdism, nothing matters, so let's do everything. They're very similar in the basis, so it's very hard to pinpoint where they differentiate. So with Gangle dying, it's just like, I don't know, like I'm doing my best, chat. Trust I am doing my best to sort of, because this one has always confused me. This one has always been the most confusing. Because Gangle dies, and then Jack starts leaning more into her cartoony persona.
Come here. Are you listening to me? When the one who's known for masking dies, Jax, are you following? Are you following? When the one with the mask dies, Jax starts to mask more as the funny one. Good job, you got it. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud. Wipe that dust off your shoulder.
And yet, this peek into Jax's mind somehow lets us know that in some way, shape, or form, she genuinely does believe that Zooble loves Gangle. She does. She believes that Zooble does in fact adore Gangle. And yet, even in this world, she's not allowing herself to take off the mask now. That's crazy. That's insane. Man, this story could have been epic. Is the Amazing Digital Circus the indie Sonic 06? Holy shit, man. Also, yes, I do technically believe the theory that when you choke Jax, she does that cartoony, like, thing.
That's all, freaks.
Which seems kind of lackluster compared to the things that everyone else has, but also it fits. Because Jax believes they're not up to par. They're not as good as everyone else, so why would their thing be unique? Also, a jab at the fact that Jax is willing to point out everyone else's flaws, but not their own. So they could, I could be wrong about this theory. Once again, the theories aren't the point. The point is where they are. But the theory could be entirely wrong, and it could be decided that, oh, nothing happens when you choke Jax. It is literally just, they would rather tell you what everyone else has as opposed to themselves. Holy shit. Is Jax withered Mirabelle from Encanto? What about Jack's toy? Yo, if anybody in my audience is like one of those TikTok editors, please use your free will to do the What About Mirabelle song from Encanto, except it's Jax telling you what happens to everyone else when you suffocate them. Please do that. Thank you.
Why are you wearing that? I wouldn't be caught dead wearing that. I'm wearing it ironically. That way it shows truly just how little I care.
Because all of these versions of Jax in their mind is them. That is who they are. Each one of them is a persona that is constantly fighting with each other. I messed up my own sentence. Sorry. None of these are the real Jax. That's what I meant to say. None of these are the real Jax. All of these are pre-manufactured personas based off of lies that he has told himself about either herself or the friends around her. This is going to be a funny ass counter when I see it in the comments. Holy shit. And yet all of them are constantly fighting with each other over who the real one is without knowing that none of them are. And yet, since all of them have bits and pieces of who they truly are embedded in them, they truly believe that that is who they are. And yet they're constantly fighting, going back and forth between these masks because who am I? This feels right. I actually put a bit of myself into this mask, so this has to be the right one. But then it's not. And then they just keep fighting, going back and forth, back and forth. Is this me? No, this isn't me. Yes, it is. This is me today. Because I've seen a bit of myself in that mask. I know that that mask is me. But what about this one? I've seen it in that one. And it's just constant noise all the time. And then who you really are, the one that has the most of you put into it, is sitting in the back waiting for the noise to stop so that they can speak up.
Don't forget about me. I can play the piano. You know, if you have to say you can play the piano, it makes it seem like you can't actually play. Yeah, just shut up and play.
I really do think that, and I know this video's for the media literate people, not the people who didn't understand it. I really do think the only thing that would have made this more on the nose is if they just used the Evil Jax model. That's the only thing that would have made this more on the nose, because that would mean that is the personification of what he believes. Holy shit. That would mean that mask, that persona of who Jax thinks she would have to be their real selves, is this massive hyperbole of what it would actually be like, because that's all they've probably known when it comes to being their true selves. Evil Jax, super shy, super diminutive, hi, like that sort of persona, sort of like how Gangle is. So Gangle is also giving Jax that sort of negative reassurance that every lie she's telling herself is true. It's all right there. It really is. It's all there. And I am here to dig through it for you. So please like and subscribe.
This whole episode's been nothing but wah, wah, wah. Where's the levity? Shut up!
And even though they weren't talking to him, since the one on the piano has the most of the real Jax put inside her, they stopped playing the piano because they automatically assumed they were talking about her. Am I reaching? Probably. It could just be they stopped playing for dramatic effect. That's probably the actual answer. Instead, I am going to make this more meaningful so that I can walk away from this series holding something.
Nope. And even if I did,
So when they entered this room, I was actively asking myself, so how come the locked up door is in there? That is because that Jax is still in there, and this entire room is a collection of all of them. It's a visual joke. It's not lore. It is a visual joke. Even though they did not leave the room, they still showed up to the gathering. You can laugh now.
wow. I hope that doesn't also happen to me.
That's that clarity. She's gone. Well, I won't say gone yet because we're about to get to that point. But where we are, in the best words possible I have right now, is those couple of seconds before they hit the ground. I shouldn't have jumped. This is a very dark philosophical question to ask, but please let me know in the comments. In this situation, who is the person that you would think of at that split moment of, I shouldn't have jumped? Mine would probably be my mom. My mom or Aston. Yeah, those are my answers.
I look stupid.
I remember that feeling.
I swear to God, I was not thinking about Ribbit when I paused. I promise, guys, I swear to God, I promise I was trying to think in my head, what philosophical thing can I get out of Jack saying I look stupid? And then my eyes glanced at Ribbit, and then I realized how they were standing, and then I remembered the TDAC fandom exists, and now I'm over explaining, and now you guys will never believe me. So please draw Diddles and Ribbit. Thank you very much. Moving on.
You caught me off guard.
A laugh's a laugh. I mean, gotta start somewhere.
I'm just mad it was you instead of me.
Aaron, I am never watching Game Grumps again, but I'm done hating on you, dog. It's exhausting. I'm just gonna go on, dude. I am letting my hate boner for you go because I love Kaufmo dearly. He came onto the scene, said like 8 things, and stole my fucking heart. I love Kaufmo. I know I told you guys to draw me with Ribbit. Fuck that request. Please draw me with Kaufmo. That would make me the happiest man in the whole wide world. I love you, Kaufmo. Aaron, I won't let you taint this relationship I'm about to get in. This is about me, not you. Do you understand me? You live your life, I'll live mine happily in Kaufmo's big burly arms.
You gotta watch out for her. She's gonna corrupt.
Dog, this is such a beautiful detail. Come here. This is such a beautiful detail. I didn't even see the first time. I know Kinger is there. And yet Ragatha's the only one actively doing the adventure. She is alone. Again. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh. Wow. There is a beauty to silent storytelling. But sometimes you gotta speak up. This isn't one of those moments. I think that is beautiful. I think this scene, if paired with others, beautiful. That adds a lot to Ragatha's character. I like that.
One stupid day. I was just kind of fed up with it. I told her something I regret telling her. Something deep and personal that I thought would get her off my back. But she laughed at me. Personal, degrading insults that felt like it went on forever. At the end of all of it, she hugged me. I panicked, and I pushed her off me with all the force I could. I didn't know if she was just trying to make me feel bad, or I never found out the answer. I'm sorry. I definitely overshared.
My mom compared me to my dad a lot, which I really didn't like because I am a transgender woman. So I told her that I was a transgender woman, and she laughed at me for it. Well, I, Ribbit, am not going to laugh at you, Jax, for being a transgender woman. I will even give you my pink bow to put on your head to make you look more feminine, because you want to look feminine, because you are a transgender woman. Yes, you, Jax, are a transgender woman. Thank you for the bow, Ribbit. This makes me feel more feminine and better about myself, because I am a transgender woman. However, because I have internalized transphobia, I am going to repress these feelings and try to pretend that I am not transgender. Damn, bro, that sucks, bro. Really hope our friendship doesn't end over this or something.
Yeah? I mean, now's not a good time. Or now's fine. What do you want?
I don't know how much of the full scene I'm going to keep in, obviously, because like it's so beautiful. Please go to the actual episode and like watch whatever I ended up taking out. It's a beautiful scene. Michael Kovac gave an amazing performance, regardless of what you think of him as a person. First of all, I want to say whose ever idea it was to have the entire thing be from first person point of view, so that when the camera rotates and we can see Jax look outside of herself for one of the first times in their life, bravo. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful shot. And only for it to cut back to first person point of view, suddenly she's back in the shell now that the idea of being open with more than just this one person in this moment has made itself like available. That's beautiful. And I love that. And I completely understand where this is coming from, because with a parent like that, you're going to have to put on a persona. And the persona I can see Jax putting on, or I guess in the real world with it being Leroy, I guess I can see I'll say Lee, because then I'll be able to trick my tongue into she over he, because proper. Plus I was calling them Leon for like a fucking week because I could not remember what their name was. In a situation like this, I can definitely see the funny one being the mask that you sort of like put on in a situation like this, especially with the implication that when they revealed something super deep and sentimental about themselves, and then the reaction for their mom to be the laugh, obviously it was that they told their mom that they were trans. Like there's no way around it. And the only reason that you would be able to watch this scene and not see the clear writing on the wall of Jack/Lee is trans, it is because you hate trans people. I can definitely see their relationship being like, oh, I just have to hit this certain mark. And maybe that mark, the only mark they could hit was that funny one. So the only thing that could keep their relationship stable was that constant mean back and forth that she sort of got from people like Ribbit, Kaufmo, and Pomni. I would totally believe that aspects of their relationship mirrored what she had with her mom, which is why she would constantly look at her hand whenever they would push Pomni. And I can see Jax wanting to tear those walls down, wanting to get that sense of approval from mommy, you know, that thing that she projects onto Ragatha all the time. So when she jokingly adds the fact, oh, by the way, I'm trans, so what are you gonna do about that? Like maybe mom makes a joke about how like, oh, you can never do this like your dad. Was like, well, I'm actually a girl, so that of course, why not? And then the mom just launches into a tirade of transphobic jokes and slurs, not knowing that Jax, Lee, in that moment, dead serious. They really wanted to test the waters to see what would happen if they let their guard down and told what should have been the most trusted adult in their life something so true and valid about themselves. And then they laughed in their face. And the only reaction after that, which we don't know, if I want to keep making connections to TADC and mouthwashing, I'm going to say that Jax, 100% unreliable narrator. I want to believe that in that moment, mom accepted her. Absolutely. Much like everyone else in the circus accepted her. And yet she was so hyper fixated on the laugh that she ruined everything. That's my theory. I mean, we'll probably never get an answer to it because I don't have Tumblr and I'm not going to get on there to ask Goose any questions because I don't have any interest in learning Tumblr. Anyways, moving on.
If now's a bad time, I can come back later.
Oh no, it's a great time. I was just trauma dumping for Jax. Something you should never do, by the way. Holy shit, I'm an asshole.
You know none of that was real, right?
I won't even take credit for this. I want someone to take this episode and re-upload it. Everything is the same, but this abstraction sequence, like this sequence where we're seeing the flashback and everything, I want you to make a cut where it's Jax walking up to Pomni. He's about to say something, but of course she doesn't, walks away. She says, I wish I had tried a little bit harder. And it cuts to black. And then it starts playing these scenes. And then at the end of it, it cuts to them on the balcony, looking at it. And then the rest of the episode is literally just them gathering Jax, building the fort, Kane. That might not fix every issue, but I do kind of like that structure in my head a little more. They might have to do a little couple supplementary scenes, but I think that could work. Sorry, more thoughts on it. It was like I wish I had pried harder. Camera cuts to Jax walking away. He's walking towards the camera. Camera does a rotation, cuts into his point of view, or their point of view. They look at we joined them on a walk. Maybe it doesn't have to be too long. It's already like an hour long. We joined them on a walk. They opened their room door. They walk in. They close it behind them. They look at their hands. They cover their face. The screen goes black. They pull their hands down. We are in their memories for the abstraction. After that, after these big scenes with the new revelations of how everything in the show went from Jack's point of view, jump cut to the people on top of the balcony looking at Jax abstracted. There's your on-screen abstraction. I know what you actually want is like a cool animation segment of his character model being torn apart and turned into it. You fucking psychopath. But yes, it would look cool. But if that's what you want, make it. Anyways, we can actually move on. I promise no more structure things, just philosophy. But I have been thinking about that for a while.
I'm sorry.
Damn!
What is there for us to possibly talk about?
I don't
Deny?
know. Just whatever I did, whatever's going on between us, can we just stop this? I miss talking to you.
We're here. We're talking. What else do you want from me?
I just want to be friends again.
What? So you could pry into my personal life and hold it over my head?
All right, so first was deny. What are you talking about? I didn't do that. And even if I did, I rarely do that type of thing. And honestly, it's harmless. Now we're moving on to...
Is that really what you think?
Attack.
This can't be what you want.
What? Because you know me so well. Because we're such super close best friends. So we know everything about each other.
Reverse victim offender.
I'm sorry for crying, but...
Guys, if you want another great character like Jax, promoting 2 hours into the recording, by the way, please go watch Bridget and Christopher Reloaded over on Bridget and Christopher Reloaded. It is a short form drama series. Well, not short form. Each episode gets longer and longer. There's 8 episodes. No, there's 7. Wait. How many? Episodes 1 through 7 are out right now. I am so sorry. Episode 8 is in production right now. I've been keeping tabs on it. The titular character Bridget is a lot like Jax. So if you are craving someone to fill that Jax-shaped hole, you're gonna love Bridget.
Well, we call her Gangle. That sounds about as pathetic as she looks.
What?
Great choice, Gangle. I'll be sure to add that right into the system.
Dude, that's fucked up. What the hell? Whatever Kaufmo is about to say to you, you fucking deserve it, dog.
Out of the way, Rags.
Dude, fuck off! Oh shit, yeah, because Jax was isolating. Kaufmo was like left alone. All he could do was go crazy about finding an exit. And honestly, I also really like the thought that Kaufmo going crazy about finding the exit is what caused the exit door to start manifesting everywhere. So the ones that Pomni was seeing, since she was still so new, that wasn't her. That was Kaufmo. And whatever residuals she was like seeing? No, when she showed up, it would have been her, because her brain is just like doing fucking everything that it possibly can, and it manufactured a couple of exit doors, which is what she did in a little later in the last episode. So Kaufmo probably started going crazy because he was manifesting these doors and thinking like, no, I have seen it. I know it is real. But like, he doesn't know how to actively get to it and go through it. So then the clown that replaces him comes in and shows him like, this is how you do it. Are you watching carefully? And then he's like, and she's like, oh, fuck. I guess I gotta take your place in the series now. Damn.
You're not looking too good. You gonna cry?
Because given this context in the story, we know, or you should at least be able to know or accept the fact that Jax was already on his way out. That friend group was pre-established. Those three, bada bing, bada boom. Ragatha was not a part of it, hence her doing the adventure by herself. She's not going to be happy until Pomni shows up, obviously. Jax has nothing left. He's burned every bridge with everyone else, and it's like she refuses to build a new one with Pomni. The only bridge that she sees for herself, she doesn't want to take the time to build a new one, but the only one that she sees ready and available to take is the one that leads her to Ribbit and Kaufmo, which is really fucking stupid because all of the materials are there. Build a new bridge. It's break that old bridge and make a new one. You there. Boom. You have more materials if you run out. I don't like you, Jax. I am glad you died so that Lee could thrive. I'm glad Lee conquered herself. Yeah, because just imagine if, like, it went rebuilding the circus, everyone's starting to join. Jax walks up to Pomni, changes her mind, walks to her room, covers her eyes, sequence of events, everyone on the balcony. We'll get through this together. Gangle and Zubul have their moment. Pomni and Ragatha have their moment. Pomni is running around the circus. She hugs him. She hugs her. I bet whoever is keeping tabs of my mispronunciations is having a wild ass time. She hugs her after shooting out the lights, and then boom, right into this. I kind of just feel like that structure works a little better to me. Well, not straight into this, obviously. She hugs him. She hugs her, goes into the room, gets the key, opens it, boom, into this. So then it's like not the montage, but the montage is still fresh in everyone's mind. So then we can just focus on the conversation. Because then Pomni, okay, I'm One Piece pilled, so take this with a grain of salt. Because then Pomni doesn't have this information about Ribbit, Kaufmo, everyone else and the others. The most information she has is how Jax would respond if their friends died. And what would Pomni do with that information in this scenario? Exactly what she does. That feels a little bit more powerful because she doesn't need a reason. What the fuck did Sonic the Hedgehog say? Do I need a reason to what? To want to help out a friend. And I just feel like that would do like leagues for Pomni's character. That would be beautiful. Just from that one switch of the scenes, I definitely feel like that would like do, like powerful. Because then Jax is weighed down by all of this. Absolutely. She knows what is making her like go through all of this. She's relived all of it. We found the note. We've found the note. We've seen those like last couple of minutes, and she cannot fathom the fact that even with all of that weighing on her mind, even without knowing anything, without knowing everything, that all the terrible things that she's done, Pomni is still going to be there and be her friend. That's powerful. And I already talked to the Pomneys in the audience. This goes out to all the Jaxes. I don't give two shits what you're going through. You are making the choice, actively making the choice to be a Jax. You're going to have to accept that the people in your life are choosing to be a Pomney. And whatever you do with that information is up to you. Whether you turn around and hug them back or abstract is up to you. And that's all I gotta say. This is such a beautiful moment. I sure hope I don't ruin it with an ad for my new masterpiece review.
Stay with me.
Life is another, the meaning of her.
Having a lot of complex thoughts.
Yeah, she is. And I'm going to tell you exactly what those complex thoughts are. Holy shit, I spent so many years on this person. Holy shit, they weren't my friend. Holy shit, I thought I was their friend. That was so much time wasted when I could have been doing something else. This new person has come into my life, and it's really opening up how much of a terrible person the last person was to me. And yet I still care for them. Why? I realize I put all that time and effort into someone who didn't care about me. Why am I still crying? These emotions and feelings, I don't want to feel them. I shouldn't feel them because they're gone. And yet now I am suddenly feeling this delayed grief. Am I crying for them? Am I crying for me? Am I crying for the time I wasted, or am I crying because I don't know if I have enough time left to make up for the time I wasted? There's so many thoughts just running through the mind of someone who loses an abuser that they loved. And I don't want to hear anyone give any sort of differing opinion on that. They, no matter how disgusting the relationship, they saw each other as friends. And Gangle now has to come to terms with, holy shit, my friend, who may have not have been a good friend, is dead. Why do I care? Because they're my friend, but were they my friend? And it's just a lot. It's so much. And it's beautiful. And I wish Gangle had gotten more time. All right, that's the last structure comment, I swear. We have to get to the Kane part because holy shit, there's still more time. Also, very nice touch that I didn't mention because I was singing instead of talking about the show I'm watching, is that the color in the circus came back when they started working together. After Jax was gone. Okay, no, I'm not making that joke because someone's going to come in the comments and say, see, he gets it. Jax was the problem. The problem is trans people. They need to die. Hooray. He gets it. Shut up. Go sit in the corner until you know how to be a decent human being. I love the fact that the color came back once they started working together to be a family. It wasn't Kane coming back. He didn't snap and then all of a sudden the colors came back. It was them. It was them who did it. And I love that. Visual storytelling.
Doesn't that hurt?
I've been through worse.
Oh, it's the exact opposite of episode 1 when Ragatha was doing the and Pomni was like, ouch! Why did Darth do that?
Hey, someone had to do something.
Goku descends from the top. If I don't, who will? Okay. I know I said the last structure thing was the last structure thing. You will not be lynched in the street for putting text on screen that says earlier. There were legit fans thinking something that's going to happen a little later that I'll pause and talk about was actively happening and creating an entire storyline for a second season, all because they thought everything was happening at the same time. We will not crucify you for putting the words earlier on screen. Only if it's in Comic Sans, and knowing Goose, it would be in Comic Sans. So I'm going to stop giving them ideas. Okay, so by the time this is live, I'm probably out of my TADC era, and probably by the time this starts getting randomly big views on YouTube, hi guys, I used to do YouTube reactions. I'm working on a animated series right now, which is why this channel is dead. Also, probably by the time this comes out, that lore thing has happened. I'm not going to say anything just in case. Anyways, all my animations are over on Kibo's Keep. Hopefully by this time I've made good progress on the pilot. There's shorts and memes over there for the time being. Make sure to go over there and say hi to me. Tell me you came specifically from my TADC episode 9 reaction. And ask me when I'm going to react to episode 10. Please specifically ask that, because I will not remember what you're talking about. Do not say TADC episode 10. Just go over there and say, hi, I saw your reaction. When are you reacting to episode 10? That's it. That's it. Nothing else. Just that. Thank you.
They tried to delete me. They're in the wrong, right?
I'm not going to bring up Bubble in this section because honestly, that's one of the things that pissed me off about the finale.
Where's Bubble?
I got no closure with Bubble and no answers. And like, I don't know, like, all right, off the top of my head, if I wanted to give Bubble the closure that I was expecting them to get with the storyline they were setting out to tell, during his crash out, I would have slowly switched Bubble's voice with Kane's own voice so that when Bubble eventually said, you really are the lesser of the two, it's Kane actually just talking to themselves. For the rest of the episode, everyone notices that Bubble sounds like Kane, and they're like, that's weird, but we really can't say anything about it because he's going to kill us. They delete them. We get to this portion in the void. All of a sudden, like, Bubble's not talking to him. It's literally just the Bubble. For the first time in his probably whole life, with the blue AI being a part of him, he's no longer being told what he's doing wrong because he's not doing anything. He's literally just sitting there. I said it best at the beginning of my Zooble and Jax video, or at least in the description of when I put it on TikTok. I am too busy writing my own show to painstakingly turn this into one that I meet ride for the rest of my life. So if I get a good idea, I'll say it. But other than that, you're not getting anything else out of me. What a concept.
Ruin this?
I like to think those beams of light were the color going back to the circus. That's what I think. I think he was actively just laying there doing nothing during the whole like rebuilding the circus and Jax abstracting thing. I really think they were doing nothing, and that portion is light and everything returning back to the circus. Like literally the patterns and shapes and everything going back to where he should probably be going to. And that is the beauty of Kane. In the pilot reaction, I stated very clearly that I trusted him. I wasn't sure why, but I knew in my gut that he was someone I could trust. And this scene perfectly emblemizes why I believe that. Because from the beginning, at least from that portion of the show, he was doing his best to be human. not doing his best to replicate a human. He was doing his best to be human. And I'm going to change the words I'm punctuating so you understand why that is a beautiful statement. He was trying his best to be a human. And that's all humans are. Creatures that try their best to make it day by day. He already had it, and yet he was held captive in a system that said, unless you can produce the exact correct shapes, numbers, and colors that you are supposed to, you are not good enough to exist. And he did everything in his power to be what they needed him to be. And it was never good enough. And not through any fault of his own. Just like with his therapy session with Zubul, he quite literally cannot fathom what he is doing wrong. Because he has all the power and all the pride that humans have to make things go the way they need to go. And yet, just like Jax, he doesn't realize he cannot do it alone. No matter how much power he has, he cannot run this circus alone. It's a very human thing for him to struggle with. And I love the parallel of Kane's AI not working properly, producing incoherent lines and squiggles. I love that because humans aren't perfect. And unless you have the portion of the AI that can only make things that aren't perfect, mixed with the AI that can only make things that are perfect, of course they're going to be at odds all the time. Kane was always the perfect AI to run this because even though he doesn't understand humans, with him not working properly, but him still trying to, he fundamentally understands humans better than the other AI ever could. Whoever it was supposed to be. This is what I was talking about when I was saying that we won't crucify you for putting the words earlier on screen, because there was legitimately a portion of the fan base that thought that Kane regained his powers and started a new server where he made Scratch a new body, started over, and then immediately gave up his powers after that. So he would why would he do that? Scratch would just abstract immediately from being alone forever and then run around destroying everything. That's Goose, you have to realize, I understand the smart fans are fun to talk to and interact with and great, but a majority of the fandom thinks the letter E is pronounced like the letter B, so sometimes you got to spell things out. Also, I'm assuming the Wi-Fi goes out because the place closes for the night, quite possibly, but yeah, who knows?
They could kill me. They already did.
I mean, not technically. They just moved you to the recycling bin, which is like really smart because unless a file is like bigger than the amount of space you have available on your hard drive, it'll just sit there. So the computer quite literally just forgot wherever the fuck you were, and they didn't realize you were still there. So I think that's very smart. I really like that. But also, I really like how when it cuts to him having the red and blue eyes, that is the two AI inside fighting over him. Kane himself is not the red AI. He is the result of the red and blue AI, two conflicting... Two conflicting concepts that could never agree with each other from the start, fighting over dominance in this shared body. That is how I interpret that, at least. So when he does that red and blue thing, they are not harmonious. They are not agreeing on the same thing. And I don't know if they're... There you fucking are. There you are, you motherfucker. There you are. It's gone again. He always flies up high. I'm gonna get this gnat, I swear to God. And if I see he's been throughout this entire footage, I'm gonna hit him hard. Kane himself is the result of him always learning and growing, but the red and blue eyes is when the AI just cannot understand humans. When I said he was trying, I am saying narratively he has always been human. He just couldn't learn because these two AIs inside of him could not agree and allow him to grow. So getting rid of one of them is going to solve the issue. And honestly, the blue AI is problematic, most likely. Or maybe not. It could literally just be they can't exist together. So now the blue AI keeps the circus alive, and Kane is just a part of it.
I really will.
But he's not trapped in a cage anymore. He's not forced to watch everyone go on and do what they want to do. I know I should probably pause and talk about this, but I've been going for 3 hours.
I still love you.
You know, I never programmed you to say you loved me.
I know.
It was actually Steve Hines. He was one of the programmers who worked on the 3rd floor below us. Yeah, he thought it would be a very interesting point if he programmed me to specifically, and I quote, tell the ringmaster I love him whenever he appears on screen. You can go talk to your friends now. Her horse's name is Daisy Bell. Man, it is almost like the Zooble and Jax edition. Don't pull a hot diggity demon. Do not say what a concept. Just let it go. All right, so you know how that was like a beautiful scene, right? And how it's like super emotional and everyone is all sad and crying. They were like, oh, these characters in the real life, they're doing so well. The brain scans of these characters are doing so well. I'm so happy and proud of them. You know how a lot of the merch ads poke fun at the fact that that our internet exists in their world, like if like our Instagram, like that, like they actively have Sonic Shorts Volume 8 on their internet in their world. Would you be crying in the theater if the last thing Kane showed them was the fandom celebrating the fact that they exist, reminding them that even though they feel that their existence doesn't matter, it does? Just a thought. I'm also a Sonic fan who cried at the end of Generations when they had the audience yell, "Happy birthday, Sonic." Ooh, if you like that idea, you niggas better be afraid for Dairy. I'm gonna hurt you guys.
I'm just Pomni.
It is what it is. Even if it turns out all of this is for nothing, we were here. Make it count. I wish this show was able to bring me the tears in theaters. I wish. I really do. I know I sat here and said I'm going to focus on the philosophical side instead of the execution, but I cannot ignore that the execution of the finale and everything that was presented stopped me from feeling the closure I wish I felt in this moment. This song doesn't feel earned to me. This song is a beautiful song that represents acceptance, to me at least. As a matter of fact, Duffy's Digital Circus, I know probably people are going to want me to watch that now that I've mentioned it. My first exposure to that was the video of Zubul like getting hung, and hearing that distorted version of this song brought me to tears. Like, I experienced true fear. Look at this grown man online saying, Duffy's Digital Circus made me experience true fear. Take your head out your ass for a second and listen to what I'm about to say. That moment made me experience true fear because that song in my brain has been equated to acceptance. It is what it is. This is the life that you live. In that moment, the message that came across to me was, this is the life you live. The only thing that you can try to do is to try to kill yourself. Cause like, what else, dude? Like, fuck it, just accept it. This is all you have. You should kill yourself. And something about that being the answer to everything. It is such a 180 to my moral philosophy on life that hearing that song equated to that philosophy was like, holy fucking shit. And I started crying. So like, I was like, holy shit. When the actual show ends and I hear this song again, I want them to hit that same sort of like, emotional narrative punch, and I didn't get it. And that's just me. If you got it when you saw it in theaters, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you got that experience. But I've also gotten this delivered to me so many times. I'm waiting for the next person to really hit it home, which is why I'm doing it myself. There you go, motherfuckers. See, Jax is still alive. She lives on through Pomni. I know I said that very dismissively, but no matter who or what happens in your life, the people who really have an effect on you, it's gonna show. There's going to be tiny changes to your mannerism. And even if you say, oh, that's just me, it's going to be tied to someone. And some of us are lucky enough to remember where we get those little things from. Hi. I actually didn't write anything for this one, so I'm not sure what I'm... Yo, Gangle's live action actor doing way too fucking much. Stop jittering. Stop. Thank you. There's more of that fucking merch that they keep fucking... I don't know. I shouldn't complain about it. I really should not complain about it because I said earlier that the merch is where they should promote like the mystery of the world, and the show is where they should do the character drama. So I think they should have kept that separate. But the show's over now, so I can complain about it all I want to. Haha, fuck you. And that is the end of the Amazing Digital Circus. I already said what I said at the beginning about the structure and where they fucked up and where they could have done better. Goose, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of where you see yourself physically as a person. I am so glad you got rid of Jax. I am. I'm so glad you got rid of Jax so that Leroy or Goose is able to thrive. I'm very, very happy about that. I'm glad you have an understanding of yourself as a person and what struggles you had to overcome to become the person that you are. I'm currently still in the middle of that, but once I finish that, you niggas are getting episode after episode after episode. Like, there's not going to be a stopping point. But I'm glad you had a good enough understanding of yourself as a person to put this show out there, and I am hoping you achieved your goal and this show reached the people it needed to reach, because it definitely reached me. That's the only thing a cartoonist can ever hope for. Thank you all for joining me on this philosophical journey. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I avoided my spite when the pilot dropped and I joined you guys for it. I still don't have any merch beside the Pomni pant and the off-brand keychain that's in the living room now because the keychain broke. I really don't see myself getting any merch of this show unless they do something fucking baller. Anyway, that's 3 hours of recording done, and now it's about to be 2 days of editing. I'm sorry this took so long to get out. I know we're still working on You Laugh, You Lose 62 at the time of recording this, I think. Dog, I just want this ARG done.